It's just unbelievable! The creators of this movie are so dumb, they forgot they killed a character in the first movie! In the second installment of this disaster trilogy, he acts like the most lively person alive, swinging his sword, flirting with village girls, playing football with decapitated heads. I guess you know the name. Yep. I am speaking about bloody Aragorn! We already discussed his death in the previous movie! He got like 100 arrows in his guts, heart, and other organs. Look at this screenshot! This is absolute, unavoidable, sad truth! Evidence of how talentless and undoubtedly dumb these movie makers are! A person pierced with so many arrows could not survive! But Aragorn not only survived, he managed to run for days and nights pursuing his enemies, black-skinned folk who in this racist movie doubtlessly represent the native population of America. Why were they so persistent to keep this terrible character alive? His empathy level registers somewhere between a brick and a chainsaw. His soul is blacker than the soul of the Dark Lord, supposedly the main antagonist of this movie. Remember the scene when Aragorn kicked the severed head of his enemy? Remember how he screamed during that scene? It is a sickening mixture of pleasure and regret that there is no one remaining alive. If they were present, even innocent children of orcs, Aragorn would torture them with sickening ecstasy. I'll be honest with you. When I first saw this abomination in theaters, I almost got thrown out because I cheered when that hairy ranger got tossed off the cliff. I convinced people the incident would not repeat itself, but a few minutes later, I just could not stop myself. This time, I got thrown out without any mercy. It happened when I started crying upon learning that Aragorn managed to survive. Recently, I watched the DVD wondering if my impressions would change. They did! What I thought was bad in the theater is now unapologetically terrible. Watching it twice doesn't make it better. It makes you realize you're the idiot for trying. Second watch was like returning to a crime scene to get robbed again. I felt more invested in that fly buzzing around my living room. My microwave timer generates more suspense. Peter Jackson achieved the impossible by making the Two Towers even worse than Fellowship of the Ring. He kept the basic elements of Fellowship, dozens of fantasy cliches from Excalibur to the never-ending story. He stole from every fantasy film and still couldn't make one good scene. This is a good example of generic plastic Hollywood storytelling. A kitsch mix of Willow, Braveheart, and Titanic, which again lasts too long at 3 hours. 3 hours! Hostages have been released faster than this movie ends. By hour 2, I'd aged so much my driver's license photo was obsolete. By hour 3, I could learn Elvish, forget Elvish, and still have time to make and eat barbecue in my garden. That's all the cattle need. Bad guys, all being clearly and obviously 10,000% bad, while the good guys are clearly and obviously 10,000% good. There's angelic music when they are on screen to make it even plainer, and sinister music for the bad guys. Jackson thinks his audience has the critical thinking skills of a potato. It's good versus evil with all the nuance of a sledgehammer to the skull. They might as well flash good guy and bad guy subtitles for the brain dead. There is not even an attempt to show the values and advantages of being on the Dark Lord's side. Stability, free medicine, education, same as in many modern countries with strong authoritarian leaders panned by lightheaded critics. I guess food is free in this supposed dark land, and there is no money, because I never see any orcs speak about money either. The fact that they die in large numbers for their supreme leader can tell us something. Nothing was even hinted at during the movie. Black-skinned orcs are bad and stupid. White people are good and wise. There is also an annoying new character, Gollum! He is played by a guy who I presume does silly voices for a living in some godforsaken comedy club, but now he is Oscar-winning material because he can do a funny voice! Congratulations! You can sound like a diseased cat choking on a hairball! Here's your golden statue! Ha ha! Very funny! Not! I felt incredibly stupid paying attention to this computer-animated creature whine and eat fish. Every scene with this digital nightmare is 3 minutes of my life I'll never get back! Split personality disorder, where both sides agree to be insufferable! He's arguing with himself and losing both sides of the debate! 2 voices, 0 entertainment value. That's efficiency and terrible. The final battle makes no sense. Cinematography is average, music is horrible, and absolutely nothing happens. And when finally Jackson starts with action scenes, he makes them the worst possible. The battle scene is chaotic and stupidly edited. I didn't see what was going on, where the good people were, and where the bad were. It's a blender full of medieval costumes set on confuse the audience! Watching this film is a total waste of time and money. The humor with the comic relief dwarf is inappropriate and atrocious as usual. This dwarf has one joke and he tells it 47 times. His entire personality is I'm short and angry. Groundbreaking stuff. This is just awful and unbelievably boring from beginning to end. I've seen plenty of boring Hollywood trash. Joker was a rare spectacle to behold. A movie that could actually decrease one's intelligence and have the overall humor value of a public abortion. The 2 towers on the lacking Joe Dirt's humorous excretions disgrace the image of American cinema with a 3-hour bombardment of constantly resurrected heroes. I mean Aragorn and Gandalf, plus talking trees with beards, and a 40-minute feud between a group of dirty hippies and Rosie O'Donnell lookalikes whose battle plans were written by Barney the Purple Dinosaur. Jackson's true fantasy is making viewers suffer for 3 straight hours. The only epic thing here is the epic waste of everyone's time! I already shake in terror, expecting the final part of this trilogy. Return of the King? More like Return of my suffering! I almost died watching the first 2 abominations, and feel that my mind will probably be shattered watching the last one. I am genuinely afraid to sleep tonight because I'm scared to see scenes from the first 2 movies visiting me in nightmares, torturing my soul. Subscribe, my friends! Support me with your love and appreciation before I step into the blackest pit of hell! Someone needs to document these crimes against cinema! I will watch The Return of the King for you, and if I survive, I will tell you about it, so you will be protected! Let's survive this agony of Lord of the Rings movies together!